So what made me want to get out of the gym and do this with a different purpose? I think at the first gym I ever started with, it was amazing. I did about 2 years with them. I was so underpaid. I felt so undervalued. There was little things happening behind my back. And that happens a lot in a corporation when you work underneath so many owners and trainers and managers, that there was a moment that I knew it was my time to go. And I was fortunate enough that I was dating somebody who lived in a building, and I had big problems with the management and the ownership of the gym. I felt like they were going behind my back. Maybe they felt like I had done something wrong. Who knows? You know, there's always three sides to every story. My side, their side, and the truth. So through that conflict, I decided I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to branch out on my own. I'm going to brand myself, and I'm going to do this training thing on my own. So my ex-girlfriend at the time, she had a nice building in downtown. And she's like, here's the key to my building. Why don't you get the trainers that you take to the gym, maybe charge them a little bit less, and invite them to this gym at my building? And that's what I did.
Awesome.
You know, like.
So thank God for girls, right?
Thank God for girls. Women are a little smarter than men. I'm not gonna lie.
You guys heard it here first.
And they're a lot tougher. And I know this from 10 years of training. I can train men, and they're complaining, dude, what do we got left? They want to have side talk. Women are like, what's next? What's next? How much longer? Okay, boom. What do I eat? What do I do? But that's just a side talk.
I don't know. Today during our training session, I was bitching. It hurts. Ow.
But the bitching was just like, you know, a reflex. You would still do everything that we asked of you till every second of the clock or every rep, and then some.
Yeah. That was this morning. I'm still kind of hurting a little bit.
A little bit.
All right. So name your business Consistently Consistent.
Consistently Consistent.
What does that mean to you?
Consistently Consistent started on Facebook. I would put long inspirational captions and quotes on pictures or workout videos. And at the end of it, I would just quote consistently consistent. Before it was anything, I just thought it sounded cool and it resonated with me. And it's funny with, maybe I have 1,000 friends on Facebook. I don't know. This is before Instagram, by the way. And I just felt like the type of people that would comment, consistent, I fuck with that. The type of people that would comment and gravitate that were the type of people I wanted to be like. They were peers of mine, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, athletes, business owners, some family members that have been through shit. And they would just every single time consistently consistent. I felt some attraction, some gravity in that department where it made me feel like this is like more than just a cool saying. The type of people that like this, they're also about it. And I want to be about it. Even though I'm coding, a lot of times we talk about things that we might not be there at the moment, but we strive to be. So when I got into personal training, I thought consistently consistent personal training, what is better than that? Because never are we going to be perfect. This is not a thing of your expectations are through the roof. Every single day it's going to be perfect meal. Every day you're going to work out balls to the wall. Like, no. One day you might have a fight with your spouse. One day you might not sleep right. One day, 1 month, 1 year, you just might fall off the wagon. And it's never going to be perfect. But you got to be consistent, and you got to fall back to the healthy habits. And that's where consistently consistent comes in. It kind of ties in.
I love it. So what I love most about your business is that not only do you do personal training, but you also do nutrition and like holistic type advice too.
Yes.
So we'll get into that in a little bit, but you don't really find many trainers that do a combination of all. But usually it's someone who just wants, to teach you how to lift 500 pounds. People aren't really thinking like, oh yeah, I want you to eat all that protein, drink that protein powder. They're not really thinking what's in those ingredients. Like,
exactly.
Yes, you need protein powder, but let's find one that's going to work for you that doesn't have toxic ingredients. So I like your approach, and that's why another reason why I did a lot of research on trainers, and I kept coming back to your page. I was like, this guy does the same stuff that I do, like all your meals that you post, your drinks that you post, you're not like you don't party like that. Like, I want to be able to trust a trainer that I know that he's not out till at 5 a.m. and then training me at 6 a.m. and he might be tired, not really on his A game. So for me, like, all this kind of led to finding you, and that's where we are today. So, the reason why I need training is basically, I mean, you already know, but we'll tell everybody else. I want to be in the best shape, but I don't even care at this point. It's not even about my shape all the time. It's about being healthy. So I was diagnosed with osteopenia, which is, not crazy. It's just like weakened bones.
Yeah.
In order for me to, keep this at bay and not let it progress, I do need to, do workouts that are weight bearing exercises. And thousands of weight bearing exercises. So I don't feel like I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go home and cry after. Like, I'm like, okay, it's not easy at all, but I'm sore, but I'm not able to walk for 4 days after. Yeah. I know you're probably going to get me to that point, but we're not going to go there. So that's why I appreciate, what you do. So let's talk a little bit about that. So like the nutrition and all that, like, where did you learn all of that? Did you just read books, or, tell me a little bit about how you're so, healthy when it comes to your like nutrition?
That's a good question, because I like to think that even though I've been a personal trainer for nearly 10 years, I've been involved with fitness for over half my life since I was 14 years old. I'm 32 years old now, so old 18 years of my life. Old ass man.
Old ass man.
But we thriving now.
I'm older, so I'm gonna be ancient.
We are thriving.
Shit, I'm a mummy. Okay, anyway.
So when I was young into my training career, 13, 14 years old, I wanted to get big, right? So what do you do to get big? You have all these unhealthy protein shakes. You eat all this excess of food. You drink all this milk. You're so new to information that you're just trying to do the things that you think are going to help you in the short term. Exactly. With no regard for longevity.
Exactly.
And that's where I was for the first 10 years of my training career individually. It wasn't until 2016 that I had gotten into a pretty severe car accident. I got blindsided. I was in Brickell. I was on the way to work. I was actually a couple blocks away from where we are right here, right now, not to give away our location, but about 3 blocks away north, 2 stoplights.
No stalkers allowed.
And I remember I was early. I was like 30 minutes early to my appointment. I was stuck at a light. It was one-way traffic. My light was green. There's 2 cars in front of me, but there's so much traffic that our light is green. We couldn't even go forward, but I'm not going to beep. I'm not that guy. And I'm early. People beep a little more when they're rushed. That's another topic. So I let them go. And all of a sudden, my light's been green for 30, 40 seconds. It's finally my time to go. And for some reason, somebody just completely blindsides me. Long story short, totaled my car, fucked up my back and my neck pretty good. Ended up with 6 herniated discs, 3 bulging discs. And it was a really down point in my life. It was December 20th, 2016. I will never forget the day, the smell. I remember I had a gallon of water. I was about to drink it, and the gallon completely exploded out of my hand due to the impact of the crash. It was like a movie. Even though the gallon has a little hole like this, it went all over my car. Everything was in slow motion. Great time, It's one of the most pivotal times in my life because it absolutely transformed the man that I am today.
So, I have a question. Yes. Were you playing professional basketball at this time?
I was not.
Okay.
I was done with college. My college career, I was just kind of playing recreationally, and I was really into personal training. I was that Miami bodybuilder guy. I was probably 15 pounds heavier than I was, if I'm being completely honest with you, taking, some steroids and stuff that I shouldn't take. And I was presenting a false image of what fitness is. I would walk around, 10 pounds heavier, big, playing basketball, dunking, but I was very insecure. I never felt healthy. I was always in chronic pain. And I would preach this image that I'm this guy, I'm healthy, I'm fit. And it was fake. If I can be completely honest with you, it was very fake. So through that accident, I hit one of the lowest points in my life. I had to stop training myself for about 13 months. And I would just do yoga. I was seeing all types of chiropractors, therapists, acupuncture, different dietitians, you name it, I tried it, because I had 3 doctors tell me with a clipboard, like, hey, if you ever want to go back to playing basketball or training, you need to have a spinal surgery, a spinal fusion in your neck and in your lower back. And for some reason, our gut, it doesn't lie to us. Something felt weird in my gut. The way that the doctors were so eager for me to have a surgery, I didn't feel like they cared about me as a person. I felt like they wanted to make money. And I said, I hear you, but let me try another way. That's Western medicine. They want to surgery things and give you medication on the spot. Let me see maybe what our ancestors used to do 1,000 years ago. I'm sure people fell off trees and fucked up their back, right?
Yeah, like,
Honestly,
let me take this little grass right here and I'll feel better.
correct.
Right?
So that took me down the biggest, most powerful, and profound rabbit hole of my life: holistic health. How can I heal my body using what the earth already has? I started to do acupuncture. I met with different physical therapists that were very natural. I completely transformed my diet. I started fasting. Every month I would do 3 to 5 day fast of just water, different herbs, yoga practice every single day. I would go to the gym and just do yoga, work out with resistance bands, do core training for a year. And I found myself from 215 pounds, I lost 45 pounds. I went to 170 pounds. And for lack of better terms, I was very insecure and I felt like a bitch.
But did you feel good? Did your body feel better?
My body felt better, but that's one thing. My head was very off because I was so used to being like a prideful man. Yeah. I'm a big guy. I'm a trainer. I'm a basketball player. I'm big. And all of a sudden, I shrunk. And people used to look at me all the time and genuinely ask me, what happened? What happened? Oh, like grown-ass men that I might have trained in my journey, that are double my age, they would give me the, yo, what happened? In shock, in complete disgust or whatever.
Assholes.
Straight up. Maybe they just didn't have the emotional intelligence to be like, what happened?
Yeah, guys, they would guys blow don't have emotional intelligence.
Correct. So. They would blow up your spot. It doesn't matter if I'm just walking on a treadmill, warming up. Yo, what happened? And just make a scene. And I'm like, I got into a car accident. I haven't lifted weights. And I got off illegal hormones, but that was that. I genuinely felt in that year from 2017 to 2018, because the accident happened in December of 2016, that I was reborn. Not only from a physical perspective, but from a spiritual perspective. My complete outlook on life, my complete outlook on spirituality, on using the earth for healing. I lost 45 pounds and I was able to rebuild my body again from scratch. And I would never, go back into that mix of, needing all these extra supplements or things that are outside of us, because they might help you in the short term, but in the long term, what are they really doing for us? Even when I was in the best shape of my life physically, I had never been so insecure. So I will trade where I'm at right here for that moment, 1,000 times all over again.
I have to agree with you. I mean, I was the same way. Like, I feel like I had a fat ass, thin waist, big natural boobs. Like, I felt like I was in the best. Like, I felt so hot, like literally a hot Miami girl. But then once I had cancer, I learned, just like you, like I was like, okay, I feel like I'm poisoning my body. Like, what can I do different? So I did a lot of research and all that. And then, I'm skinny, might not have a fat ass anymore. I have perky boobs from breast cancer. Thank you. But I feel like, I might be skinny. I was insecure for a while, but now I'm just like, you know what? No, I'd rather be healthy and know, like, like you said, the word that you use is longevity. Like, that's the word that I love, because I'm, not where I would like to be, but because I feel better, because I'm not poisoning my body, I feel like I'm not insecure anymore. Like, I feel really confident. And like, I'm just like, now I want to like take what I learned and help other people. Yeah. And that's where you're at right now.
Yes. Poisoning the body is a strong, profound saying. And poisoning the body doesn't just mean putting chemicals or artificial ingredients. Poisoning the body can be who you follow on TikTok and Instagram. We might follow the wrong idols. You might follow trainers, male, female. Maybe the female got her ass done, all types of lipo, and she's trying to tell you how to get the perfect six-pack. She might have flew down to Colombia. I'm Colombian, so no offense. But she might have flew down to Colombia and got her six-pack done, and she's just on the floor doing crunches, telling you what to do. That is not legit. A male perspective, speaking for me from a past life, I might have been like, this is the best bicep workout in the world. When you're taking hormones, anything you do is going to work. But then you meet somebody that might be a new person to training. Why do you think the way you work out one muscle for an hour and a half is going to help somebody that's just getting started? That can be detrimental to somebody's health, and that can also push people away from health and fitness. It might not work for them, and they might not never look to training again.
And that's the thing, especially we live in Miami. In Miami, like, all the girls are hot. They're all fit. You think they're all fit.
Yes.
No, I can go to Columbia right now and get an ass drop for $3K and look fit and make so much money off of fitness. I could do that because you'll be filming me like doing this, and then all right, how's it look? All right, I only did 3, but look how big my muscles are. You can get a muscle implant. So I think it's also like the area that we live in.
Yeah.
Because if you go to, let's say, like South Dakota, you take your shirt off at the lake or something, and same here, like people are gonna be like, "Damn, you're fine as fuck." Yeah. But like here, it's like everyone looks like that. Would you rather be someone who paid all this money to look like that, or would you rather be someone that works so fucking hard for what they have and they're healthy? Like, you know, I have friends that are like, "Oh, try this protein powder, try this," and I look at the ingredients, I'm like, no, like. Yeah, I might get a fatter ass, more protein, but I'm doing it the wrong way. I'm literally drinking toxic shit to make me look good. So I'd rather take my little protein that has 3 ingredients and have a skinny butt for a little while. Like, I'd rather do that. And I didn't have this mindset until something bad happened, just like you.
Correct. That's why our lowest points in our life, if you can just fast forward 5 years, 10 years, maybe more, maybe less, they're going to be the biggest blessings that we've ever been through, because they completely change your outlook on life. They humble you and they can kill your ego. What you thought was important to you is not important anymore, right? 5 years ago, you were like, miss me with that longevity stuff. How's my ass look in this dress? And I was the same. Even as a guy, how do my arms look right now? I had an eating disorder for so many years. A lot of people think an eating disorder is, oh, I'm going to throw up or I'm going to underfeed myself. As a guy trying to bulk up, that I've always been skinny, I wouldn't go anywhere if I didn't have my 6 or 7 meals a day. I would feel lousy if I missed one meal. I wouldn't want to be social. I wouldn't want to go to family events. I didn't get my calories in. I didn't get my protein in. That is not so healthy, soldier.
Never heard that before.
You got to calm down, you know? There's extremes in both directions. People assume the eating disorder is to starve yourself. You forget about the people that are extreme about having to overeat. And that's where I was. And it's a battle that I'm still dealing with till this day, but I've become a lot more in control of it. And a lot of our battles is not night and day, that you just flip the switch and it's over. It's something that you have to dedicate yourself to every day, almost every present moment.
Exactly. And it, like you said, it's slow and steady wins the race, one step at a time. For you, getting back into what you did, you didn't, like you said, you didn't wake up one day. Like, it's been years in the making. Like, you're like this is like 5 years in the making, right? More than that. You said
since the accident?
Since you said like 2017 you were reborn.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
So, I mean, it's still like a small part of your life.
Yeah.
Me, I'm only cancer free like 6, 7, 8 months. So like for me, I'm like starting fresh. Like I was telling him, like I'm like a 5-year-old. Like you can tell me something, and I'm probably gonna believe you, but I'm still look it up. Like,
nice.
Just have this in it just to make sure. But I think that going into my fitness journey, I cannot go with the girl, the female that has the fake ass, because I'm gonna look at her and be like, damn, like I really want to look like that, and I can't. So when I chose you, I was like, okay, after I talked to you the first time, I was like, all right, he understands that like I can't just jump into this. Like I need to take small steps, because I did end up in the ER from trying to do a long run, and, a couple months ago. Most people would be like, okay, whatever. And then, come on, you can go heavier. Let's go. No, like, I can't. I physically can't. I have to start. So that's why, like, for everybody out there who's looking into, starting to work out, you definitely need to find someone like him. He's in Miami. So if anybody out there, he's over here. I know a lot of my followers are also all over the country, but I'm sure you guys can find, somebody that's like this. It's hard to find because of all the artificial stuff in the world. But I'm very lucky that I found you. So thank you.
Very lucky as well.
Okay. So let's go back into your business. So you started consistent. Now, in the beginning, were you always going to other people's gyms, or did you have you had that gym, but was everyone coming to that?
Remember, I branched out of the gym, my girlfriends at the time, and you know what? I had a couple of people that would come to me, but I used to train illegally. I used to go to, this is in 2018, 2019. I would go to LA Fitness, to UFit. I would get cool with the people that work the front desk, bring them coffee, Hey, what time does the manager come in today? Oh, 9 a.m. on Mondays. Oh, 8 a.m. on Wednesdays. And I would work from 4 or 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. and I would do personal training at the major gyms.
Oh my God.
That is completely against the ethics of a personal trainer. You can get your credentials, your certification taken away.
Were you certified at the time?
I was certified at the time. However, because I'm certified individually, I can't go to a gym that already has their own trainers. You can lose your certification and you can lose your membership to that gym. And all roads, I'd done that for so many years. I knew the schedule, the ins and outs, but eventually, when you do something not organically, not by the book, eventually it's gonna crack. And
as we hear the police sirens going off right now.
Exactly. What better timing? What better timing? I got busted like in a spiritual way at like the right place at the right time. I was in between contracts with certain people. I didn't owe any people money or sessions, and I had a bunch of people that were going on vacation and going to a wedding, and all of a sudden, the day that I got busted after 3 years of going to a UFIT in North Miami from 4:30 in the morning to 8:15 a.m., for some reason at 3 years on the dot, I got caught. You know, there was management was in town. Excuse me, there was like an event in Miami for all of the corporation of that gym. And for some reason, one of the management of like another state was in town on a treadmill at 6 a.m. just watching me train people like if I worked there. I'm stretching somebody out. I'm doing this with someone else. And they're like, who is this guy, you know? And I got caught. But I thought it was
Did you get in trouble?
I got in trouble, and you know what?
Did you get arrested?
This is going to be a beautiful story. So I was training somebody maybe a day or two later, and a manager, like a big guy, comes at me, you know, kind of being a little hostile. I'm a bigger guy, so sometimes I realize males come at me with their ego first. They don't come at me as a gentleman. They come at me as an asshole to try to almost intimidate me. Dude's like, yo, come over here. All right, I'm going over there, bro. You work here. You're the manager. This is your spot. So he brought me to his office. He had a couple papers, ready to revoke my membership. And he goes, hey, I know you've been doing training here. I know this, I know that. And I look at him in the eyes and I go, you're right. I have been. I've been training here for 2 years. I know the schedule of the managers. And I just started an online business. I wanted to get some transformations. I wanted to come in before managers came. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I was doing that. This man was in shock. He was in shock because the truth is going to set you free in many times of your life. He was in shock that I was honest to him because this that I was doing was not uncommon. There's trainers all over that go to LA Fitness, they go to different gyms, and, you know, they train people under the table. Even though it's illegal, they do it. And, you know, they all get caught and they lie to the managers. How are you going to lie to another grown-up's face? They already know what time it is. I told this man everything what it was, my whole business plan. And he looked at me, he goes, wow, I was going to revoke your membership. He got the paper, he ripped it up in my face. And he goes, you know what? You can train your clients here, but don't just stand there with a whistle and a clipboard. Make sure if they do biceps that you do half their reps. At least so the cameras see it looks like you're working out together with these clients. Wow. That was one of the deepest moments of my life.
Is that your boy still though? Like,
I don't even remember his name. Oh my God. I remember what he looks like.
Oh my God.
Guy much bigger than I am with long dreads, like strong. But I just remember the truth will set you free. Yeah. You know, this man came at me with all the hostility in the world, you know, trying to protect his job. He's the manager of the gym. When you have other trainers there, you're taken away from their business. Gyms don't make money off memberships. They make money off the people that sign up for personal training. And I just felt like the honesty, the way I looked him in the eyes, I was willing to just, you know, sacrifice it all in that moment. And he ended up giving me the ultimate blessing. Just if she does 15 reps, do 7 or 8, just so the camera see that.
It also helps you work out too, because you're not sitting there. Like,
in a way, for sure. You know. Thank you, Krystal.
I'm gonna say that next time we train, I'm gonna say you better do half my reps.
Right, half your reps. You do a lot of reps though. You've been going hard. 60 pounds today, 20 reps. You should have heard the noises coming out of this.
Oh my God, it was so bad. It was really ugly. But you know what? That means I'm working hard. It means you're working hard. I'm weird because like when I'm like struggling, I laugh. So instead of like being like, I'm like, I don't know why I laugh. It's like, why?
I'm still figuring her out. Some people have a poker face, and I'm like, do you feel that? She's dying. She just starts giggling and laughing. So now I guess a month later, I'm like, okay, she's feeling it. You know, I don't really gotta ask her. The form is good. The weight's going up. The reps are going up. Like, just do you. And you know what?
Oh
keep
my
laughing
gosh.
away. Keep going.
Like I said, I've never trained before, so like I don't know the right thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
yesterday, I'm like, where are my eyes supposed to go? Am I supposed to look up straight or look at you? Like, I feel awkward because I'm like, where am I?
That's a good question.
My desk stare, you're like, fuck
Yeah.
you, fuck you, fuck you. Like,
yeah. What did I tell you? Do you remember?
Straight
ahead.
Straight
Because
ahead.
if you're doing something over your head, the last thing you want to do is look to the side and hurt your neck, because then you hurt your neck and you're not going to be able to go to the gym for a week or two, and then all that progress that we're making going to south. So I'm like, just look straight ahead, and I'm going to stand over there so I don't got to get your fuck you looks eye to eye.
It's so bad. I mean, today at the gym, I heard some guy grunting really hard, and then I started doing it. I was like, oh my God, this is what I sound like. It's like,
oh, you grunted today. You grunted today.
I definitely did. So, but that's the thing. Like, we have fun. Like, you don't want a trainer that's like, fuck, that's boring and like
we have fun.
judges you. Like, I remember, I think I told you, I went to the gym with my ex like so long ago, and first time walking in the gym, he gave me like 200 pounds to squat, and I couldn't do it physically. You see me, you give me like 5 pounds, I'm like, I can't.
7.5 in each arm.
And he was like, you're embarrassing me. This is pathetic. Yeah. And so like, I think I also might have like gym PTSD because he was a professional athlete and like he was probably used to the other girls in the gym doing that. And I couldn't do that. So shout out to my ex. Fuck you.
You know what? Gym PTSD is so real. I've worked with clients from all walks of life. And you know what? A lot of clients that I've had previous experience with trainers, and not all have been well. More often than not, they have PTSD, like you mentioned. Trainers that have pushed them too hard, trainers that have injured them. That happens way more often than not. And the fucked up part is that a lot of the clients that I have, they think that it's their fault. They think that it's their fault that they got hurt. I wasn't strong enough. I didn't focus enough. No, somebody gave you too much weight. Somebody pushed you too hard too soon. Somebody took you somewhere that your body wasn't ready to go. Okay, your mind, I'm sure you might have been willing to try the 200 pounds, but if your spine breaks in half, it's broken.
Why are you talking like that?
It's wrong. I don't know, you know? I don't know how else to put it. Like, if your body cannot handle it, it cannot handle it. You need people that put their own ego to the side, can listen to you, can feel you, can understand your body, can understand your goals, and then take you where you want to go. It's a step-by-step thing. Because what's the alternative? The story you told me about with your ex was years ago. So imagine that PTSD is real, and now your body took 3 years, 5 years, 8 years away from the gym. That's a lot of potential that might have been lost in that. Instead of somebody saying, you know what, let's do 1 pound today. Tomorrow, let's do 2. And imagine, maybe now you're doing those 200 pounds that they might have started you with. Maybe.
I don't know if I'll ever get there. But...
the goal is not always to be ultra strong.
No.
The goal is to be able to dominate your lifestyle. If you have a newborn baby and he weighs 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, you want to be able to lift that. Why you need to lift 10 of those at the same time?
I'm not here to be a bodybuilder. I am 34 years old. I think I'm way past that. I think at this point, it's just like keeping my bones healthy, you know, keeping my body healthy, my mind, you know, it's also, you know, something that you can do for fun too. Like I remember you said 2 days ago, you're like, oh, the gym's fun. This is fun. Yeah, like I have fun. But in the past,
it's a first, by the way. She never told me she's had fun until now. So yes, continue.
I don't say that at 5:30 in the morning when I have to wake up. But after the workout, I'm like, oh, I feel good. Like okay, let me go for a walk now. But I don't feel that way in the morning.
Yeah, it's the getting up, the showing up part.
But that was the thing I was most scared about was not being able to do anything. And from the get-go, from the jump, I sat here, I was like, you cannot overwork me, because last time I was overworked, I went to the ER. And that was like the first thing I said, because I was like, this guy is probably gonna look at me like I have a fucking 1,000 heads, like, oh, what a fucking lazy girl. But I think after I explained to you, like, I went for a run once and I ended up in the emergency room. Like things like that. Like my doctor literally says, start with 5 to 10 pound weights, because of all the, you know, side effects that could happen to me from my diagnosis, you know? So I was scared that like you would judge me or be like, oh my God, this fucking girl, like she's full of excuses. But this is real. Like, you know, I think I'm your first cancer patient, right?
You are.
Ex-cancer patient. So you're teaching me a lot of stuff, and I feel like I'm also teaching you a lot too, you know? Mostly you teaching me, but I think that you have had clients that were injured, had I remember you told me that they had like arthritis, you know, a lot of things that I'm trying to prevent. So you're also teaching me how to prevent stuff like this. Like, I don't want arthritis. I don't want osteoporosis. And with your knowledge, you know, I can go on YouTube and look up stuff, but like you have the knowledge of like how to stretch properly, how to do the right exercise with the right form, not just doing it. How much weight is going to work? You're not going to give me 100 pounds the first time. You know, we did 5 pounds and then I think that was 10 adequate. Pounds and that was it. But that's the first month, you know, so that's what I appreciate the most, you know, about you is that, yeah, sometimes if I see the weight, it's 5 pounds, I'm like, wow, this is so embarrassing. But I never think like, okay, he thinks I'm pathetic. Like, I don't think like that. And I'm sure other trainers would be like, what a fucking loser girl. Like, she can't lift 5 pounds. But they don't realize, you know, I'm not doing this because I'm being lazy. I'm doing this because I physically, you know, can't. Yeah. I can't physically. And I also don't want to get injured either. So, because once I'm injured, I'm never going to come back to this.
Exactly, you know?
So, talking about like the cancer diagnosis, like when I first reached out to you and said like, hey, I just beat cancer. I'm ready for a fitness journey. Like, what were the thoughts? Like, what did you think?
I felt so honored.
Really?
I really felt so honored that somebody like yourself that's been through so much, that has so much toughness and grit in them, would want to train with me. And I also believe in divine timing. I just got a knee surgery. You know this. I'm about to come up on my 2 month. And the time that you reached out to me was actually the week that I was about to start working again. But I wasn't going to work full time. I just wanted to work with 2 people a day, maybe 3, start walking, start seeing what my knee can handle. And I just believed that it was just like a beautiful thing that was more than even human, that you would reach out to me at this time in your journey and in my journey. And one of the things that I love the most is to teach. And if you were a blank slate, I look at you as almost an open canvas to fitness, to health. How would I teach somebody that I genuinely care about how to go about this? And if you care about them, you're not going to try to force feed them everything at once. You're not trying to give them all the weight or all the information. You're going to teach them 1 or 2 important things at a time and build from that. 1 or 2 pounds at a time, right? Because I want you to have fun with this. If this is a lifelong journey, you realize the things that you do the most are the things that you enjoy. The things that you hate the most, yeah, you might be able to put up with it for a month, for a year, for a decade, but eventually if it's not fun to you, you're not going to want to do it anymore. So how can I teach someone that I care about that already has the toughness? It's not that you're not tough. It's just like applying that into the health and fitness journey. How can I teach her, you know, how to get stronger, exercise sequence? You told me that you had been laying down for 8 months to a year, correct? That atrophies a lot of muscles. They say in this world, sitting is the new smoking, meaning being sedentary in the same position for so many hours, how it turns off muscles, how it tightens other muscles is more dangerous than even smoking cigarettes every single day, because of the tightness that it leads to, the chronic pain that it can lead to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, how can we get her to perform like a healthy athlete? That's my biggest thing. What muscles can we stretch? Let me listen to you first, more than anything. What do you want to work on? Where's your mindset at? Because I'm not coming into our training with my ego. I'm not saying, yeah, you want to build some ass, I'm going to destroy you with this exercise. No, like, what really drives you? Let's meet you where you're at when it comes to that. So we actually sat in a couch just like this on the other side of the building. And we sat here doing exactly what we're doing right now.
What do I need? The thing is, obviously I want a fat ass, obviously, but I don't need that. Like, I need to be healthy. And that was the thing. I didn't want someone that was just going to fucking make me go on the ass machine every single day. I have other bones I need to work, you know?
Absolutely.
You can get osteoporosis anywhere from your skull all the way down. And I will not get there because, you know, we do every body part. We don't just focus on, okay, 1 week we're going to do legs, then the next week we're going to do arms. We do a little bit of everything. And some trainers might not agree with that. If people go on my Instagram and see my fit highlights. I have a fit highlight. I never thought I'd see that in a day of my life.
Nice. You made it. Step 1.
Other trainers might look outside and be like, wow, 10 pounds? Wow, that form, you know. No, this is catered to me.
Exactly.
You customize every single client. You had a client before me. He was, you know, an older gentleman. He can probably carry more than me. He could probably do more weight. So that's going to look different than me.
Correct.
And that's what I like about you. You customize. You don't have like a strict thing. Okay, let's see what today's thing is. Like you come in, like, all right, you look around the gym, you're like, this is this equipment, we're going to do this, this, and this. You don't have like, you know, you don't go on YouTube, okay, let's do this, this, and this. Like, all right, and you don't put it on the board like the other fucking gyms. They put it, all right, we're doing 10 squats, this. Like, no, like you have your own way. And that's what people should appreciate, you know? So your clients are very lucky to have you. But that's what I wanted to ask. Like, what's next for Consistently Consistent? So I know you be going to all these fancy Brickle, you know, businesses and, you know, helping a lot of people, but what's like your end goal? Like, where do you want to take this?
I'm very fortunate that in my training career, I started from, you know, condos to garage gyms to training illegally in chain gyms at 4 or 5 in the morning, to now being in places like the SLS Brickell, SLS Lux, the Porsche Tower, and, you know, Sunny Isles. My journey of private training has taken me to so many beautiful places, and not just beautiful places, I've met such good people.
Yeah.
I truly believe that in this world, you attract what you are. I've tried to put out the cleanest energy into this world, try to smile, try to uplift people. I feed myself with good quality food that you and I have gravitated to. I don't train myself like an asshole. You know, I try to put out a lot of good and put in a lot of good, and I've met just so many quality people. So I would like to continue down this path of meeting good people and seeing where that takes me. From a business perspective, for Consistently Consistent, there's a certain amount of clients I would like to retain and keep, and I would like to hire trainers. Similar to myself, like-minded people, they might want to get out of training in gyms where the gym can take 60 to 70% of your revenue, and they might work you on a corporate style that you're working for 12 to 15 hours a day, and you might start to hate training. But if you were to train privately and you see 4 to 6 to 7 people a day, you can love those people. You can make so much more money. You can build relationships with them. So I would like that. I would like to start the hub of private training. There's a huge demand for that. Look at all the buildings around us.
Oh, yeah.
They all have gyms within them that are more than capable enough to take people from point A to point B to point Z in their fitness journeys. Not everybody, especially after the pandemic, wants to go to the gym. Not everybody feels comfortable going to the gym. Not everybody has the time to go to the gym, but you have time to hit your elevator to the P level
You call
or
me
11th
lazy?
floor,
Call
you
me
know?
lazy?
Meet at the gym. All you need is an hour of your day.
Yeah.
So I believe there's a big demand for that. I want my business to go to the next level to help more people. I feel like in this world, when it comes to trainer to trainer, there is no competition. There's an endless amount of people that need help in their health and fitness journey. And not everybody can help everybody, but I believe the right people can help the right people. And I want to meet those people, and I want to take things to another level. And in my personal journey, I just had a knee surgery, an ACL, and a meniscus surgery. A lot of athletes can say that's a career-ending injury. In a year from now, I want to play professional basketball again.
All right. One year from now, we're going to see you there.
We will see you there. And I want not just myself and my family, I want my clients to see me go through this journey almost like them. They're starting, you know, from scratch. I just relearned how to walk. I'm still kind of limping around, and it's been almost 2 months. I'm relearning everything from scratch, and I want to take it to the top one more time.
Awesome. I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? So yes. The fact that you're going through this journey too can also help other athletes in the future. Mm-hmm. So after, you know, once you become a professional basketball player and you're doing all that, and then once you get older, like 50s, and then when you're still owning your business, you can take the knowledge that how you healed your body yes. and help someone else heal, whether it be a kid, mm-hmm. adult. I think that is the best, also a best, you know, thing for you, because yeah, you can learn stuff on YouTube and you can get certified in all these classes, but because you're actually dealing with it, you know what it feels like, you know what injury is. You had surgery now, so you know exactly what does not feel good when you're training, what looks good, what doesn't, from a different perspective, your own perspective. So like, you know, like same thing with me. I'm not comparing your injury to me, but like, I feel like when people give me advice on cancer, it's like, bro, you didn't go through that.
Yeah.
I went through that.
Yeah.
So anyone that needs advice, come to me mm-hmm. because I've been through it. Mm-hmm. Same with you. If I find someone that has an injury, like you're going to mm-hmm. go to the trainer who has never fell a day in their life.
Exactly.
Go to the guy who experienced it. He's been through multiple injuries, not only just, from sports, car accidents, stuff like that. So your perspective, if I had a kid and my kid had an injury, I would rather go to someone like you who what to do, how to do it, instead of someone who is younger, went to college and is personally trained. Like, no, I want the experience.
That's a great point. And we referenced this earlier, talking about low points in our life were things that we might be the most grateful for. But from a fitness trainer, athlete perspective, your injuries are your biggest blessings. They're an opportunity to learn and to strengthen an area that might have been a weakness. I've had the knee surgery. I was reluctant to the back and neck surgery. I've had so many shoulder injuries, elbow, ankles. And at the time, you're like, damn, why me? Or this sucks. But now as I look back on my journey, I'm so grateful because I was able to heal through all of those things. So when I meet a client at any walk of life, I'll have a little bit of expertise and knowledge and wisdom to offer them when it comes to healing from those injuries. Now, the most common injury in the gym, it used to be the lower back. Now it's the shoulder.
Really?
Yes, the shoulder injury. And a lot of that is because a lot of people work remotes. And what are they doing? They're sitting down, they're on their phone, they're on their laptops, they're in this forward posture. They don't realize you need to stretch, open up your chest, and you need to strengthen that mid back so you can improve on your posture. That's a lot of things that we do, by the way. And it's not because you already have a shoulder injury, but when it comes to our training, I'm trying to think proactively, not reactively. I'm like, nah, what hurts now? What could hurt due to your lifestyle? That's what good training does. It can prevent future injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I like how he does it, he doesn't just say, okay, let's do 100 lunges right now. Like, no, we start slow. Like, first we do stretches because my body is not flexible at all right now. So we do stretches, and then we do like little bands just to get you going. We do the treadmill, we do the Stairmaster to, loosen all the muscles. And then, halfway through, then we'll get into, the hard stuff. But I when I see people training, I don't see people doing that. I don't see stretching. Like they'll do, I've been to like one gym class and they're like, all right, 20 seconds of stretching. Like,
right. Like, just to say they did it.
Yeah. Now that I see the way you do things, I look at other people training and other classes that I see like on YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, they're doing that wrong. It might not be wrong for them, but now that the way you do it, I think this is the way people should be trained.
I agree.
And now that like you have experience with a cancer, I consider myself a cancer patient. I don't have cancer, but I kind of told you the things that cancer patients deal with. The osteopenia, the lymphedema, all the stuff that normal people don't have. Now in the back of your mind, okay, if I have a breast cancer survivor that calls me, Krystal already told me about these things. So now you have the knowledge to help other cancer patients. And like, we're very open with each other. If you're like, does that hurt? Does that feel bad? Like, so like, you're now remembering, okay, this cancer patient, this is what women feel like, after their surgeries and stuff like that. Like today, you were like laying on your stomach. I'm like, all right, my boobs hurt a little bit because, I had surgery. So now, okay, breast cancer survivors, it's a little hard to go on your belly for a long time, especially after surgery.
Yeah.
But now that you have this knowledge, all the girls that, ask me, I'm like, hey, go see him, or you go to them, So what, like, from me, how can I help you with your business?
You've already helped me so much. People think they hire a trainer to learn from them. That's a part of it. I'm very fortunate that the first day that we sat on the couch before any transaction was made, monetary or any contract, we got to know each other. I got to know your goals. You got to know a little bit of my story. And I like to think that good business is mutually beneficial. Just as much as you learn from me, I'm learning from you. And I'm just as inspired by you on so many things. It's amazing. And some of your feedback too, and how open and how honest you are about everything. I appreciate that. And sometimes we're doing an exercise. How hard is this on a 1 to 10? You might tell me a 4 when I thought it was an 8. Sometimes you might tell me an 8 or 9, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think it was that hard.
A little bitch.
But I'm learning. No, it doesn't mean you're being a little bitch. It means you're being honest.
Yeah.
I remember on day 1, I had a warm-up exercise in my head planned. And you were, oh my God, let me look at my watch, and your heart rate was through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
And it took me back to the first story you told me before we even sat together. You told me you had a a workout class and you ended up in the ER, or was it the marathon?
I signed up for a cancer walk to raise
Yes,
money,
exactly.
and I overexerted myself
Yes.
and ended up in the ER because my heart rate was like at like 210. I felt like that was happening again, so I was like, wait,
Yes.
please, like, give me a second to like breathe, just because my heart is getting used to,
Correct.
whatever.
Pumping blood to all the muscles, to all the extremities again.
But I was comfortable at being like, stop. I didn't want to overexert it because I knew the way I felt, I was going to end up in the ER again.
Yes.
I think I was doing my breathing exercises, the ER, the paramedics taught me to like blow like on your finger and stuff. So I was like, doing stuff like that. But, most people would probably feel embarrassed to be like, wait, and then overexert themselves, and that's it. But I think that the relationship that we have, I'm like, yo, bro, give me a second. Exactly. Like, give me a second to breathe.
I would never think lesser of you for telling me to give you a second. I already feel like you're way tougher than I am and way tougher than the average client. You've survived things that are way harder than a 1 hour workout. Now we're just trying to see what your body can handle.
Yeah.
Because I know your spirit and your mental are way more than tough enough to do anything that I ask you for. However, if your heart rate's at 200 plus, let's freaking chill out and let's build on that. And now it's funny because day one, that warm up, we're doing all that with no problem, because now at least your heart rate is adjusting. And we always check in on your watch. A couple times a workout, we're like, what's your heart rate? And you're scrolling like, where is the heart rate? H. Look at the H section.
I just gotta watch. I just gotta watch because I want to count my steps. So I'm still learning. I know I'm like a little bit older than you, but like I'm a granny when it comes to technology and like working out and all this. So I'm still learning.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, do you have anything else, that
I want to ask you?
Yeah, go ahead, ask me.
What do you think about our training so far? What did you think about it before we started versus what you think about it now? We've done 8 sessions together already. And what do you I want to know your perspective.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so going into it, I was really nervous. Like I said earlier, like I've never worked out. Like I've gone to like little like boot camp classes or throughout my 34 years of life, so I didn't really know what to expect, just from your videos and stuff. I'm like, wait, this should be okay, but you're still nervous, you know what I mean? You're a stranger, I don't know much about you, your upbringing, your background. I surround myself with really good people. I never like surround myself with bad people. So I was like, putting somebody back into your circles also, can be a little scary too.
Absolutely.
And I didn't know anybody that knew you either, so I couldn't be like, yo, is this guy a good trainer? I kind of just had to like go off of like comments and like what other people said and stuff, and tag videos on your consistently consistent. But after the day that I met you, I was relieved. Like you were so cool, calm, collective, and I was like, okay, I think this guy is gonna do well with me. I think that it takes a special person to deal with me because I know I'm a lot too, and I can get cranky and sometimes. But after the first session, like we did like a trial, and I was like, wait, like can we go more? Like I wanted to keep going. You were like, oh no, it's just a little trial. I was like, I was excited. Like I was excited for the next one and the next one. Like now, like I'm like my body. I was telling you, I'm waking up every day at like 6:30 because we usually do training between 6:30 and 7:30. But now my body's like, all right, time to wake up. And I've never I'm in bed every day till 9 o'clock. I work remote, so I grab my laptop. So that kind of just speaks for itself, like how my body's now waking up to work out. In the past, it was never like that. And then, I think it's, for my opinion, I'm sore all the time. So I think that's a good thing. If I wasn't sore, it's kind of scary because, what are we doing? But I can feel it in all my body parts, 100% definitely feel it. And I'm excited to keep going and see, like I said, we're not really worried about what I'm going to look like. I feel so good, on top of eating healthy. You give me recipes, like things to try. And I'm like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Let me try that. So I think between like you helping me with like all that and then working out is also like, I don't know, I'm happy. Like I feel like my mentality feels different. It's not just like my body now, my mental, like I have a purpose, every day I'm not just working and walking. Like, it's like, all right, I got to go to the gym.
Yes.
Like, the other day we didn't have training, but I went and I was just like, I'm on the Stairmaster. I'm like, who? Like my friends, they're like, who are you? Like, what the hell? But a lot of people now see what I'm doing, and now they're like, wait, talk about this. Tell us what's happening.
Yes.
So if you're watching this, I would love for you guys to do a trial run. I think that you guys would really enjoy how he trains. Even if you're not a cancer survivor, anybody. I think that your clientele is so diverse.
Yeah.
From like you said, you have 5-year-old kids up until 80-year-old, older, elderly people. So he trains anybody, any age, no discrimination, cancer, non-cancer, arthritis, any other injuries you've dealt with before, shoulder injuries,
you name
knee,
it, all
everything.
types of surgeries.
Yeah.
I've helped women, postpartum with issues activating their abs and their transverse abdominis, and just a lot of people too. It goes unspoken of, but I've trained a lot of people with mental health issues. A lot of people with bad relationships to their own bodies, to others, bad relationships to nutrition, and teaching people, hey, calm down, just show up for yourself. The fact that you show up for yourself, you're gonna want to eat a little bit better. The fact that you eat a little bit better, your headspace is gonna be a little bit clearer. And using the gym as a tool, not just to work somebody out, but to instill a lot of positive characteristics in them, to be better family members, to love themselves better, to be better in their workplace. It's amazing because training is an investment, and you think you're spending or wasting your money. I've trained a lot of people that are business owners, and because they're training and they're vibrating higher, being healthier humans, their businesses start thriving. Their relationship with their husband or wife, all of a sudden they have more energy to offer them, more energy to offer their kids. So yeah, you might spend X amount of money a month, but what you get back in return with your health and what you have to offer the world, it's like, really?
Exactly.
A couple dollars a month were holding you back from living your best life?
I was going to say it's not a couple dollars, but I'm kidding. That's the thing I think about, like, you don't bring money to the grave.
Yes.
So, if I got a couple dollars to spend a month on going out partying, I should have a couple dollars to spend on my health.
That's another thing. We live in Miami.
Yeah.
Honestly, a good training program with a quality trainer, people will spend that in one night.
Exactly.
Easily.
One bottle at the club is $1,000.
Easily.
One bottle in Miami is $1,000. So if you can't spend money on your health,
correct,
you're doing life wrong. Like, I'm sorry.
And that bottle at the club it's not like you're gonna drink the whole bottle. It's not like I'm spending $1,000 for a bottle. You're spending $1,000 for the environment, for the bitches, for the facade. Why
am I talking like
for the like me? I don't talk like this. Excuse me, you brought this up. You're spending this money for things that are external, that are outside of yourself.
Yeah.
What are you really investing and pouring back into yourself?
Absolutely.
Because I don't spend that money. I don't do anything for bitches.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I don't want to call any men or women bitches. I don't do anything for people that are not, in my circle, in my family, in my community. What am I going to do out there impressing people that they don't care about me? They might care about you while you have that bottle, while they can drink. And then the bottle's done and it's like, all right, all of a sudden they're at the next.
Yeah. I remember you said something to me like, no, if you don't work out, your medical bills are going to be higher.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Because you think about it, right? Yeah. For me, I have a lot of medical bills because I'm a cancer, survivor or whatever. But if I don't work out, they're just going to keep racking up. And whether you're a cancer patient or not, your bills will rack up. If you're not healthy, if you're obese, you know what I mean? If you got osteopenia, osteoporosis, which honestly is super common. People don't realize they have it. Like, only reason why I knew I had it is because I had bone scans for whatever. I'm sure half of my friends probably have it, but you don't know.
I think so.
Because, you don't say, oh, I'm 30, let me go get a bone scan now. So even if you don't know you have it, just knowing that you're working so hard to like prevent anything like arthritis. Like, I know my family is big in arthritis. I don't want arthritis. So now with us training, that's going to help me not get arthritis in the future.
Correct.
Doing things I don't even know that I'm doing with my body. It's just naturally coming because that's kind of workouts that
you're being proactive. And that's maximizing your ROI, your return on investment. It's not just, it's cool because part of it, let's be frank, you and I are here because we want to improve your physical body. Absolutely. You want to look better. But you realize that when you do it with the right perspective, with the right vision, you're improving your ROI, meaning if you don't take care of your physical health now, eventually there's going to be bills that are going to come up in your face. There's going to be, you might need a knee replacement, arthritis here, medication because you have pain there, when 10, 15, 20 years ago, you could have just started a good exercise program to prevent those things in advance. And another bill is in Miami, people love to get liposuction. People love to get, augmentation here. People love to get this there. People love to take that. And all of that can be prevented if you just exercise right, eat well, I think you're going to feel good. Thus, you're going to look pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Be due to the habits that you've been building for the last 5, 10, 20, 30 years. The best, I love this quote. I live by it in so many ways, not just fitness, but it says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, right? Like, damn, I wish I invested. I wish I bought this house. I wish I put a mango tree in my backyard. You know what the second best time is?
What?
Right now. Why not start right now?
Right now.
Especially when you know it's good for you. There's no other pill later on that's going to help you fast forward and make up for the time. You got to plant that tree right now. And I'm eternally grateful that you decided to plant that tree 4 weeks ago from right now. You're already 4 weeks ahead of the game.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Well, speaking of right now, if you guys are watching this, call this gentleman right now. Consistently consistent. I'm going to, all the videos I'll post, we'll tag him. Any last remarks for your clientele in the future?
So you're telling people that follow you and that like you and that are inspired by you to call me. It's the other day there was somebody commenting on one of your posts about fitness. I don't even remember what the topic was. And I wrote back to her and I tried to send her a bunch of information. Me and you, we may never even meet face to face. You don't got to call me because you want me to be to your trainer, but if you need any type of source of information, reach out to me, reach out to her. Like, we are the type of people that are just genuinely happy to help you, happy to share the light. We found purpose in our lives, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the true meaning behind finding purpose is to share that with other people. It's not a monetary thing. So you might be watching this video and think, I can't work out. I'm sitting on my ass. I don't feel good. Reach out to a trainer like myself or somebody else. Reach out to Krystal. Maybe we can just shine a light and just kind of kick start you to getting in the right direction and see where that goes.
1,000%. I'm on board. Today, just before I got here, I had someone reach out to me and ask me like, hey, how did you learn like these fitness moves? How did you learn how to eat and all that? Mm-hmm. And it took a little bit of time, you have to ask questions, go to doctors, mm-hmm. you have to get trainers, you know what I mean? You're not going to learn by just sitting on your butt. Some girl today, she was asking me like, I need help. I just can't find myself to start a fit journey, or I can't find myself to eat healthy. Mm-hmm. I literally responded to her and I was like, I will help you. And she's like, thank you. So I'm going to have a call with her later. And, I went to Whole Foods. I brought one of my girlfriends who's a cancer survivor to Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. She's like, I don't know where to start. I spent 2 hours. We went down every single aisle. Nice. And I helped her. So, with nutrition, any kind of advice, I can't get fitness advice right now yet because I don't know much yet, but I'm sure that, you guys can book like an online, mm-hmm. Kind of, it doesn't have to be a full training session. If you just have questions about, fitness, like I have a gym at my house. Look at this equipment. Which one is good for me? Exactly. So I think that, your business is going in such a good direction. And I think that if we can expand your clientele to a lot of other cancer mm-hmm. survivors who, some of them might not be able to get out of bed. Maybe exactly. They can only do sitting, workouts. They can't mm-hmm. They can't go to the gym. They can only do like 2 pounds. Okay, but now you understand why and how to do it, and they can help you too. So we should start a remote business.
I'm here for it. If I can help people out, I believe that the gifts that God put in us are bigger than for us to just enjoy in our show. They're meant to be shared. They're meant to be expanded on. They're meant to be given to other people and help them develop their gifts, and things multiply. They become exponential rather than just singular. So exactly. I will do anything that I can to help out another cancer patient, anybody that's eager to want to improve their health and fitness, that wants somebody that cares about them. I'm here for it. And that's really all that matters to me at this point in my life, is like doing things that align with the person that I am.
And I can vouch for him. Krystal, breast cancer survivor. He's my personal trainer, and I will 100% endorse him. Gyvanni for president. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's episode. Love you guys, and talk breasty to me. Oh, also, I made him wear the sunglasses. So
this is what I look like.
All right, girls, calm down.